Hey guys, Christopher here, and welcome to part 13 of How to Pixel Art. Part 13. Crazy, right? I know, another tutorial. It's almost like I'm some sort of regular content creator and that I make videos on time and on a regular basis. So let's just pretend that that's the truth and that we're moving on to a new tutorial. So let's keep going with animation. I did the blob just because I wanted to get people, I guess, used to the basics of just how the animation functions work within Pixel Edit. But now let's move on to walk cycles, because this is the particular thing that people ask me about all the time. So I'm just going to create the same size sheet as before. Yeah, that'll do for now. So you could imagine that in this first part, probably gonna have time to make a dude that's appropriate for animating, and then after that we'll actually do the animation. So you get another little free insight into character creation. So let's do that. So let's make our dude. Or lady. You can make a lady if you like. It's up to you. That'll do. He's got a head that goes there. Whoa, that body was out of control. Let's try again. Maybe like this. Like this. Oh, he's getting a bit big. Might have to downsize him. It's looking pretty good. And that looks pretty good. Cool. Fill this in. Get busy. So I don't really have any idea what I'm actually making here. I just know that I need to make not a wizard, because wizards have robes, and even though, you know, underneath they're doing all the same things, their legs are moving and they're walking around, you can't see it, and that's the part that breaks my heart. So we're going to make a dude with a shield and a sword. I assume he's some sort of knight character. I don't know, something like that. Troubled backstory. He's trying to save someone. I don't know, something along those lines. You fill in the details. So let's get rid of that thing. Don't know what that is. Gone. Cool. So decent basic shape. Move it to the middle more. Okay. So let's go grey. Nothing like some exciting grey. Really bring up the mood. And I don't know what to do next. Let's start outlining that shield, I guess. Just quickly throwing some colors in here. Let's actually make him maybe more Viking-y. Vikings are fun, aren't they? Sweet. Okay. So let's get some sort of flesh sort of colors going on here. Okay. Let's put a hand here. Details in here. Okay. Just quickly trying to get some color in there and really sort of establish his shape. That's the most important thing at the moment. So he's obviously looking a bit wonky. So just ignore that when you first start like drawing them. Every drawing that you start with usually looks pretty dumb when you first start doing it. So you just got to persist, keep working at it, keep pixeling away, and eventually things start to fall into place. So don't get disheartened when your character looks really poo. That's my piece of advice for you. Alright, keep going. Not too bad. This section's a bit weird. I don't know what he's wearing, metal underwear or something. I don't know. Let's maybe give him something else. One of these things. I'm not actually sure what these are called. I just always thought of them as like leather dresses. Nothing against anyone who wears a leather dress. If you wear a leather dress, good for you. Good for you. I think that his whole... Okay, I see what's going on here. His torso is too long, so that's one problem that we got going on here. So let's rectify that. We'll grab this part here. And then with... this is the S tool, selection tool. And then if you hold down shift, you can select other parts as well. So I'm actually going to get in here and get the shield and then smooth that down. So, and now he's looking a bit better. Bit ill proportioned he was. Not his fault. Genetics. Bad genetics. Okay, cool. It's starting to take shape now. So let's get a different grey. Come in here. Get an outline on that shield so you can actually separate it from the rest of his body. Okay, looks pretty decent. Okay, let's get some brown on these horns. They're not going to be steel. They're going to be like actual bone. No, I don't like that part. Okay. Let's give him a nice dark eye in there. Okay. Just keep etching away at it. I still think it has problems, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely solving all the stuff. You know what is missing from this dude? A beard. A sweet beard. Every Viking has a sweet beard. That's how you can tell what rank they are. It's based on the sweet beardness. Everyone knows that a lower rank Viking has, you know, a small beard, and that as you go up through the ranks, the beards get bigger, and that's how they can tell who's in charge. Look at that. He already looks like boss now. Right? He's good to go. Good to command many Vikings to glory and death. Alright, got a bit of a shadow going on there now. This needs a bit more depth, so let's bring it across here, see what colours it's suggesting. That's pretty good, actually. I don't mind that. Let's get that. So that's looking a bit better. Let's bring this in a bit. Bring a bit more of a darker colour in there as well. Let's remove these parts in here. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. Okay. Need some sort of symbol on this shield. What would he worship? I don't know. Don't know what to draw on here in this space. Okay, so I've made this even, so I've got a center point. This. There we go. I don't know what that is. Rockets? The Rocket Vikings. Yes, that's what they'll be. The Rocket Vikings. The Red Rocket Vikings. Even better. Perfect. Let's get that bit redder. Some separation. Yeah, looking good now. Okay, so this needs like a little bit of a darker thing to come through here. And then a much brighter thing so that it looks like the shield's catching the light on this side. You can see it's got quite a bit of depth to it now. He needs a belt here. Separate that half out. Okay, and we need to start adding some depth to this armor and all the steel that's here, because it's pretty boring at the moment. That looks pretty good. Alright, so lighter color. Typically when I do swords, I usually put the light on the outside. Actually, I might have to redo this sword. I think it's a bit wonky. So go from the center point. I like to use the line tool is a good basis. And then from there you can kind of work your way out. That's pretty good. Okay. Get rid of these parts. It's not in the best position now, that's the only thing. Problem solving. Always problem solving when you're doing pixel art. This is a common thing. See, I should have just done his sword straight up in the air. But I'm being adventurous today, I guess. What are you doing? Thank you. So sometimes if you don't, if it stops drawing in Pixel Edit, you might have selected an area, because if you select an area and then you try and draw outside of it, it doesn't do anything. So you might have accidentally selected something, which I obviously did then. Let's keep going. Okay. Not too bad. Let's give a bit of shine on this side. Okay, and we've got to separate this handle. It's going to be weird. Okay, now he's got a big meaty arm. Big meaty Viking muscles. Okay, so this is in bad need of some depth here. It all looks like it's just melding together. There you can see it already feels like that's further back than his hand. Some more problem solving for you. Okay, so I want this to kind of be like, I guess chainmail-ish. So I'll do this old one. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so he needs some highlights on his helm. And we need to do this more bone colored. Let's go out here. Let's make it a bit thicker. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so going here. Still not the right color. That's looking pretty good. Then we wanted to get into the kind of browns around here, I guess. And deeper into browns here. It's okay. Still think I can find a better color for that. Alright, let's look at that. Looks good. Nope. Nope. Stop it. This one. Okay. And let's go and pick something like this for the base. There we go. I like that color much better. So let's do the same over the other side. His horns got a bit of a shape to them now. Let's darken up this shield because his red rocket isn't showing well enough. I'm sorry for that. Okay, I guess, and then what we got left? His boots. Oh, this could do with some. Best a bit darker there. Give some more separation. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. That looks pretty good for the sword. Oh, I don't think I can fit a gem in there properly. I was looking to do a gem. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Gem on the end of his sword. All right, so boots. Let's actually change these to brown boots. That looks a lot more natural. And he will have, I guess, these tops. Yeah, okay. Okay. That's looking pretty good. So you'll also notice with the style that I do, I usually don't draw feet. There's something I don't like about feet at this resolution is no matter how well you try to get them in, they always just look kind of weird. I don't know what it is about them. It's just this resolution. You can't really capture the subtleties of the curve of the foot. And every time I do it, I never end up liking it. So I'm going to stick with my style feet for this. Also feels like your shield might be able to come out just a little bit to there. And then we get more beard action. Yeah, more beard. And let's fill this in with the proper colors. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now let's do one more thing in, which is to go here, give this a brighter color and that a brighter color. You might also need some brighter colors on his face. That kind of helps a bit. And let's go a bit darker with this one. So I'm trying to create the impression that one leg is further back than the other. Now, this is something to do with just basically setting up this character for good animation by having clearly distinguished shades between arms and legs are the most important things. When they overlap, because they will overlap when they're animating, if they're the same color, they kind of blend together. And worse still, sometimes if you don't animate it right, it will look like they're not actually crossing over, but they're meeting at the middle and then immediately jet backing out. So in a walk cycle, that looks really bad. It looks like rather than actually taking a step, you take a half step, but then immediately throw your leg back. And to the eye, it looks like your character is kind of spazzing out, but somehow going forward. And that's not a good look. So let's go with this dude. The Red Rocket Viking, and we'll animate him in the very next episode. See you there.